Hello and welcome to another episode of Beer Man's No Bull Beer Reviews. Today I have a beer from a new brewing company that I have not done a review for yet, so I'm pretty excited about that. This is from Destination Unknown Beer Company. They are out of... That's really weird. It doesn't even say on the can. I think they're somewhere in New York, but I honestly don't know. That's really weird that it doesn't say where the brewery's from. Apologize that I didn't do the research ahead of time, but 90% of packaging usually says where the brewery's from, so I wasn't really expecting to have to do that. But anyways, this was sent to me by a gentleman who owed me a box for Super Bowl block pool winning. So this I don't know anything about this brewery or this beer, but I actually like that going into it completely blind. The beer is called Science of Selling Pina Coladas, which is I get the idea of making like a Pina Colada IPA. Just the name of it, Science of Selling Pina Coladas, is kind of interesting. It says New England IPA brewed with pineapple, coconut, vanilla, and lactose. And it is 7.2 ABV. And I think it's been pretty obvious by some things I've said on the channel, but to me these milkshake type IPAs are very hit or miss. So I'm hoping that this is on the good side, but we'll see. Like I said, I know nothing about this brewery. I purposely didn't even do any research about this beer or the brewery before I did the review, just to try to remain as unbiased as possible. I would say back in the 5 years ago or something, I would generally think, oh well, if I haven't heard of the brewery, they're probably not that good. But now there's so many small breweries, they might not be doing amazing things across the board, but there's so many small breweries that might really be good at one thing or another, so you don't really know going into it. Like, not every brewery ends up being Treehouse. I don't even like Treehouse that much, but they might be as good or if not better than Treehouse, but because there's so many other good breweries in the area, like, the name just doesn't get out nationally. So that's why I really there's so many diamonds in the rough now, which is really cool. And at the same time, there's a ton of impersonators that people think are good and they're garbage. So it's really a crapshoot, which makes it good for whenever you're getting these random things that you aren't even seeking out, because you never know what you're going to get. But anyways, you can see this pours a darker golden color with about 2 fingers, almost 3 fingers worth of fluffy white head. It's pretty stagnant too. It's not dissipating at all. Whew, man. It definitely smells like a pina colada. I'll give it that. But it's weird, I'm trying to think. Maybe it's the combination of pineapple and coconut. But to me, it doesn't smell like fresh toasted coconut that you would get in a stout. I think it is a combination, because it almost smells like diacetyl and coconut. But I think that's just something in my mind. I don't think that there's diacetyl in it. I'm going to taste it. We'll see. Yeah, there's definitely not. I wonder, maybe it's the combination of the pineapple and coconut that gives it that unique taste, which would make sense, and it tastes like a pina colada. It tastes like something that's pina colada flavored. But if I try to pick out what fresh pineapple or what fresh coconut taste like separately, I'm not really getting that. I'm kind of just getting a flavor of Pina Colada flavored stuff, if that makes any sense. And it's possible that the vanilla is boosting that too. I will say that the flavors from the pineapple and the coconut are so strong that I'm really not getting too much hop flavor. But a lot of times the reason these fail is you get the hop flavor, but it's not necessarily a great IPA. And then you try to throw this other flavor on top of it to kind of meld with it, or even maybe to cover it up, and it just doesn't work. This is actually, the flavors are really dialed in. Like, it tastes more like pina colada than an IPA, but it's not overly sweet. You can tell that the hops are there, and they're very clean and well balanced. I'm not getting any weird flavors from them, but this is definitely, you could tell it's not like a blonde ale with pineapple and coconut. You can get that there's bitterness and some general hop flavor in the background, but the pina colada is definitely the predominant flavor. I'm curious what the lactose is doing with this. I'm not really, it doesn't feel particularly like silky or soft. You know what? So I was just trying to rack my brain on whether I wanted to give this a... I mean, it's definitely not a dump. It's not even close to that. Whether I wanted to give it a buy or a drink. And would I be likely to buy this, like, often? Definitely not. But there's two things in play here. One, I think it's just kind of me thinking that this flavor, like, I don't... If I want a pina colada, then I would just drink a pina colada. And I would just put a lot of rum in it, that's all. But if I'm taking it as in how well did they make this beer to taste like what it says it's supposed to taste like, I think they did a really good job. So I do give them credit for that. And if at some point, if I wanted to drink a pina colada IPA, I think this would be a really good interpretation of one. And I also think that if I was out on a boat on the lake and it was like hot as hell outside, this might be something that I would reach for. It wouldn't be my first choice, but it would be something that I like it enough where if I didn't have every option on the planet, but I had some good options, I might want this because it is refreshing. It does still have good flavor, which I appreciate. Nice bitterness. I will say, I generally don't comment on the alcohol on things as long as if they're not like too strong, because it's, something between 5 and 8% really can vary with alcohol flavors. You really don't taste it that much either way. But this, I will say, goes down like very easy. I'm not getting any alcohol flavor at all. Now, if you're drinking all day on a boat, you don't necessarily want something that's that strong either, but that's a separate story. So I'm going to give this one a buy. I think it has its place, and I think they did a really good job, and I could see certain scenarios where I would want to buy this again. I could see certain times where I might want something like this, and if I wanted something like this, then this would be one of the examples that I would go for. So yeah, so this is a buy for me. I don't know what it costs, but I'm going to make the assumption it's in the $15 to $20 range, like all these types of things are. So if that's the case, then this is definitely a buy for me. So I think that's all I got in this one. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think, and I look forward to doing the next one. Thanks.